Now, what is the Western and secular view on psychology? Just very briefly, because there is a secular normative view that is unfortunately rooted in many contexts, including in non-Western countries as well. So rationalism has influenced psychology as we see today. So the rationalistic view is that reason and intellect is the only source of knowledge, which is quite normalized within the modern psychological field today. It's also very mechanistic, its approach today, viewing man as a machine. So it's all about looking at man as a machine, taking away components, adding components, almost like we're, cars, or we're electric, object. Then it's also very scientism influenced, scientism being a movement in philosophy where only the empirical accounts. So everything else, such as metaphysicality, is dismissed. And then we have the famous quote from René Descartes, who is a European philosopher, and he said, "I think, therefore I am." So putting all of the human existence into our cognitions, thinking. Why? By thinking, therefore I am. Very much alluding to the Cartesian dualism that was created after René Descartes' philosophical entrance, and he was the father of the rationalism movement. The Cartesian dualism means that separation is made between the intellect, the body, and the soul. And this has influenced modern psychology, which emphasizes on the intellect and body and dismisses the soul altogether. And there is a very interesting historian, his name is Mark Texter. He has written a book called Psychology Without the Soul, reflecting upon how psychology went in the modern view and in the Western view from being a science of the soul to being a science of behaviors and cognitions. And if you look at the etymological, the root meaning of psychology as a word, it's built upon the Greek basis of psyche, which means soul, and logos, which means teaching. But modern psychology, from a secular viewpoint, is not the science of the soul anymore. It's also very reductionistic today. So you see the part as autonomous versus the part as a part of a larger whole. From an Islamic point of view, we're very much more holistic. We see the part as part of the larger whole, while the Western psychology today, at least majority of it, because there are some movements within Western psychology today who is actually more holistic, but nevertheless, the part as autonomous. So you see the aql as autonomous, the cognition as autonomous, the behavior as autonomous rather than integrative.